This
All
conference
right,
will now
we're
be
we're
recorded.
live. All right, swearing in.
All the trustees first. You're gonna say your name when I
No,
say
he
aye.
doesn't.
Oh,
He's already.
She told me yes.
He doesn't have to. Oh, stand up.
No, he's going separate because he can't.
All right.
Okay, so I
I, Darlene C.
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Okay, and then Jeremy. Okay, ready? I
I, Jeremy Flynn,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the City of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Deputy Mayor
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of Deputy Mayor
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Okay, so, Ray, that's yours. Chris, you're here next. Right? And then that's yours down there. And then Chris, you don't sign this. Everybody else signs that, and you can sign this.
Does the mayor have to go?
Yes, we could have her go.
We need your picture.
There you go.
I guess we do.
Jeremy. Yeah. You want to go again?
I guess I'm gonna.
Okay.
For
Ready?
the photo op, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right now. Let's go.
I
I, Tina Chiaffi,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of mayor
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of mayor
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
You're
Okay, all right, good.
right.
All right. What a peaceful transition of power. All right, are we ready? All right, we're going to do the org meeting first. Calling the org meeting to order at 6:07 PM. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. I think for the purposes of expediting this, how's about I read all of it in rapid fashion? Yeah? Or you want to go turn by turn? All right. Pledge of Allegiance. Chris, lead the way, newbie.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I think I do the resolutions last. I read everything, right, Joe?
What I would do, you don't have to read the resolutions.
So am I just going through the list from the top, motion to accept?
Yes.
All right, so do I have to so move and second it?
You should so move and somebody else should second it. So
Right.
resolutions 1 through 15, I would read those.
Okay. Motion to accept the agenda as printed, so moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor to appoint Jeremy Flint as deputy mayor for a term of 1 year, so moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor to appoint Jessica Batani as clerk for a term of 1 year, so moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor to appoint Cindy Schleider as building clerk for a term of 1 year, so moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor to appoint Joseph Prokop, PLLC, as village attorney for a term of 1 year, so moved? All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor to appoint Kimberly Thayer as village deputy clerk for a term of 1 year, so moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor to appoint Ronald L. Polito as village treasurer for a term of 1 year, so moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor to appoint Small Business Management Solutions as village bookkeeper for a term of 1 year. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to appoint R.S. Abrams as village auditor for a term of 1 year. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion that the mayor, treasurer, and deputy mayor are authorized to sign checks for the village. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Got to recuse myself.
Mayor to appoint Michael Chiaffi as village building inspector for a term of 1 year. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor to appoint Tony Bertolotti as deputy village building inspector for a term of 1 year. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor to appoint Nelson and Pope as village engineers for a term of 1 year. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor to appoint Rich Parrish as village environmental engineer for a term of 1 year. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to appoint Edward Schmidt as village historian for a term of 1 year. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to appoint the following for a term of 1 year. Village Records Access Office, Jessica Batani. Record Access Appeal Office, Joseph W. Prokop, Esquire. Acting Justice, Joel Cadams. Continuity Program Manager, Jessica Batani. Village Manager, Jessica Batani. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to appoint the following commissioners for a term of 1 year. Walnut Beach, Eddie Schmidt. I got to recuse myself. Next one. You go.
Please.
Public Works, Michael Chiaffi.
Van Brunt Manor Beach, Joseph Caggiano. Flag Patrol and Maintenance, Gary Garofano. Trustees, Park, Bonnie Sauer. California and Mayor's Park, Al Yesler. Easements, Ron Cagle. Communications, D. Parrish. 25A Corridor, Jessica Byrne. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Do I just keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion to authorize officers and employees to attend conferences and seminars after prior approval and in accordance with the regulations of New York State Comptroller's Office. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to reappoint John Lane to act as the village liaison in harbor management meetings for a term of 1 year. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to reappoint the following to the Village of Poquat Zoning Board of Appeals with indicated terms.
You don't have to rate the members.
I don't?
No. Those
Okay.
are all stated.
Okay, as stated. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to reappoint the following to the Village of Poquat Planning Board as stated. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to name the official depositories for the Village of Poquat as follows. Dime Bank, so moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to designate the following as the official radio station for the Village of Poquat. Walk 97.5. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to designate the following official newspapers for legal notices. Village Times Herald, Newsday when necessary. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to reimburse the mileage expense based on the current IRS rate, presently at 67 cents per mile, as reimbursement to officers and employees of the village who use their personal automobiles while performing their official duties on behalf of the Village of Poquat. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to ratify the continued adherence to the following
You
policies
don't have to read them. So it's the policies as listed.
as
below.
listed below. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to ratify the continued adherence to all village policies as adopted. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt Robert Rules of Order and any and all pertinent rules as adopted by the Village of Poquat Board of Trustees as the official rules and procedures for Village Board of Trustee meetings. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to continue the established procedures for the setting and notification of special meetings of the Village of Poquat Board of Trustees to a 72-hour notification requirement, except in the event of matter of public safety or emergency then is required by law. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to waive the requirement of posting an undertaking by the mayor or trustees. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to schedule the Village Poquat Board of Trustees meetings as listed below. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to schedule the organizational meeting for 2025 to be held at Village Hall to be held on July 7th, 2025. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to require annual year-end reports on January 15th, 2025 from the Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to require biannual reports on August 15th and January 15th, 2025. August 15th, 2024 and January 15th, 2025, and from the village commissioners of the following locations: California Beach, Walnut Beach, Van Brunt Manor Beach, Trustees Park, 25A corridor. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to renew Keyspan bond account for a term of 1 year. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt all the organizational resolutions above. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn the organizational meeting at 6:15. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Record time. All right, let's move on. Calling the Board of Trustees work session to order at 6:15. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, item number 1. We've got a broken basketball hoop at Trustees Park. It is no longer functioning. It's shaking and rattling, and it's been that way for a number of years. And I am proposing that we just bite the bullet and buy a new one. Everyone good?
I'm good with that.
Okay, the Poquak Community Association President Deirdre has requested the similar contributions towards the annual barbecue of $1,500 as we have approved in past years, and I am in agreement with that if everyone else is. Yep. Okay, emergency AC repair. So the air conditioner at Village Hall broke. We had one repair company come in. They did some troubleshooting and advised that the repairs might be extensive. So we had a second air conditioning company come in to give us a second opinion. They changed the filter and the problem seems to have resolved itself. So we're going to have 2 bills and we're so far having very nice air conditioning. So, but that's a bill we're going to be looking at. Emergency sprinkler repair. There was a big, I don't know if everybody saw it, down at California Park. There was a big ditch several feet down, dug. There was a leak pretty far down. They dug it up, repaired it, but it was a pretty extensive leak. We're going to be looking at that repair bill as well. IMA for Port Jefferson Harbor Commission is up and will be signed. It's the standard one that we sign every year. We're signing it again. Our insurance rates, number 6, insurance rates have gone up significantly. What was the original?
We paid a little over $30,000 last year. They got it down to $40,000 renewal. It was originally $48,000, and they did shop it around, and the second lowest quote that came in was $72,000.
This for liability?
It's for insurance for the entire village.
We did have a few cases. We did have a few.
Yeah, is that raised based on just like on existing on claims from the past year, or is it just also a?
They said that it was for the most
It's more
part.
of like just the industry. It's just
Industry.
going up, like insurance rates are just going up, and we did have to add a wind deductible because
Yeah.
we're on a shoreline, which we didn't have before, but that's, now kind of standard for communities like ours. And we had to increase one other deductible, a law deductible. It was originally
What's the
10,000.
deductible now?
It was 10,000 to 15,000. And the girls at Salerno were phenomenal. They worked so hard to get us the best possible rate we could. So,
Yeah, we went over it a couple of times with them. They got us down, and I mean, it is what it is. I think we just need to, going forward, incorporate that into our budget, that our rate is going to be higher. So it's a little new item. Okay, resident requests. We had a resident request to have another resident take part in a DEC fishing education program. Jeremy, do you want to talk to that for a second?
Yeah, so just I'm waiting for a call back from the local DEC because it looks like there's 2 ways that they do it. I think if you either have, you can have somebody from outside of the DEC run the program. I believe that they have a fishing license and they provide educational material that that person can then use and select. They also have for small groups, they'll have a representative from the DEC come out and do the class as well. So I'm just waiting for them to call back and
Okay.
let me know. So
I would pursue the DEC fishing, them doing it first.
Yep.
And if they don't, and get the number of people that they want and how that would work.
Mhm.
And if they don't, I think that you can go back to the original resident and ask them to communicate with the other resident. I don't want to get into a game of telephone with the residents.
No, yeah.
So just have the original resident who recommended another resident, have the other resident contact you if
Okay.
they're interested, so that we don't have to
Keep playing telephone.
play telephone with this. So either the DEC or the other resident who was appointed, sort of, that person can either decide, contact you and say they're interested or not.
Okay.
All right. Berm to address runoff erosion. So there's there's actually a couple of areas. There's two. There's one on Birchwood where a resident is, the erosion running down Birchwood is undermining the road next to their home, and they have asked if the village will put in a berm to mitigate it. Mike, and I'm going to ask Rich as well to go take a look at it and make sure that their request is legitimate, and secondly, that it's not going to have any impact on how the water flows if we were to put that berm in, because we don't want to put the berm in and then cause the problem to go to another house. So I'm going to ask them to look into it. And we also have, Dave, our handyman, mentioned a similar thing. It's a little bit different, but it's the similar situation is happening down on Van Brunt Manor Road. The water is running and breaking up the side of the roadway. The only issue, the Birchwood one's almost easy if it's an easy enough fix and we can remedy it with just addressing the one resident's property. I think that would be okay. The one at Van Brunt Manor, I mean, we might have to look into it a little bit further, because the problem is that road floods all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we spend the money to remedy it if it's just 2 floods and we're back to square one. So I'm going to actually take a look at that when the weather, I'm going to look at it a little bit more towards when we get a little bit more rainy weather, to go down and look at it and possibly get Nelson and Pope to advise on that, because it's a long stretch and that's a trickier spot because of the fact that it floods.
So is it the beginning of Van Brunt Manor or the end?
The whole area. Now coming down, it's actually coming down from the part that we own, from Wells down to the Triangle. It's like that whole side, which we do own, is eroding. The other thing,
That does flood.
right? But the other thing is, Brookhaven, I believe, has a work order number to repave that road. So I don't know if they're going to address it when they do the repaving of that section, because it might fall. That's like that little gray area where it's like Popot and Brookhaven both kind of manage it. So I can also reach out to them and see what their plan is, or we can wait until they pave it and see what it looks like. But I think that the one on Van Brunt, we're going to maybe have to look at a little bit more and see what's happening more towards the fall.
Is remedying any of those reimbursable through CHIPS?
Might be. I don't know. I don't know if it's. I don't think, as far as the patch, it would be a question of, I don't know, because I think it's curbing. They don't reimburse us for berms.
They do. Do they do it has to do with stormwater management?
I don't think so. No. All right. So those are those we'll circle back to these. They're both in the works. We're looking at them.
The only other thing I would consider on the berm, on the one here, is when Mike goes to look at it, is, it's a pretty narrow road. already. Like, how far is that gonna end? Is it just gonna like stick in the road and get beat up?
I don't know.
And then do we take that on? I mean, maybe it's also, he takes a look at it and then run it by Joe if we're responsible for that, because then we're gonna have to maintain it.
Well, it's our road.
Mhm.
That's the water's coming off of our road and creating the issue on his property. So I would think that would be more of our issue. It's not his property that's causing the water. It's our road that's dumping the water. Wouldn't that be more the village's thing?
Well, if it's the crown of the road that's distributing property or causing the water to run off onto the neighbor's property, then we should
Yeah,
deflect it.
I think that's going to be more our thing.
Okay.
All right. Garden plot fencing. So Bonnie, I emailed everybody this, but I have a printout too. She sent out a proposal about possibly changing our the community garden, removing some plots and kind of boxing it off to, we would be removing 1, 2, which I don't even know if we would really have to remove them. We could remove a couple or we could just box some off. I don't think we'd need to remove the memorial. One of them's not there. We could leave the memorial outside of the fence, but she's interested in possibly having a perimeter fence so that we don't have to have the smaller fences inside. I don't know. I just,
I saw her picture.
I saw her think, why? I didn't like, well.
I think I think it's a nice idea. I think the first concern is the proximity of that to the tennis courts, and kind of looking at where it would be.
what it's going to look like.
Yeah, like so close to each other. I mean, it becomes a bigger project, but I was thinking almost if you could shift it back and extend it a little bit and keep it further away from the tennis courts, it might give a little more separation. But
But then you're moving the plots into the
Yeah.
shade.
I don't think it's
Well,
gonna be
I don't
as
think you have to move them.
intrusive.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
just
you have to
clear
move it in the
fence.
shade if you extend it a little to the
So,
south.
Yeah, it was very nicely done.
I don't want to push it all the way back, but just to, I don't know, just because if you're going to set it outside, if you're going to, just worried about where that line is, I guess.
Well, the
because if you
line would
set
be
it-
further back because she's proposing that one of the plots, so you would take, it would be
Yeah.
removing one whole plot. So it would be whatever that is, 4 feet further in.
Mhm.
I don't like the idea of reinventing the wheel and moving all the plots. I don't think that that's, I don't,
Especially the gardener, that you don't want to move the soil.
right.
So, we actually saw that in person, okay, and it was very well done.
Yeah.
And it took away a lot of each individual plot, so it didn't, it kind of looked cleaner. It
neater,
actually
yeah.
looked cleaner, even though I understand the concern next to the tennis court. But I actually think, like Ray said, it's almost clear because it's chicken wire inside the fencing that it becomes.
I'm neither here nor there on it. I mean, I did, no, I'm throwing it out because before I ask her to get us numbers on pricing it and having it installed, we have to decide what we think of it aesthetically. I agree with Jeremy. I do kind of have a little bit of a concern because you've got the one thing and then another thing. But if you guys saw it in person and you think it's not going to look
If it's
funky.
gonna be
I also
that
think
tall,
if it shows here, it shows here, if you remove that, that's gonna take how many feet is a
it's
normal
at least
plot?
5.
Yeah, so it is
It-
And
gonna
then the
be,
space.
It's gonna push it a little bit back and then a little bit of space, but I get that
You're also
saying,
gonna need
you
to
know,
set
if
it.
you're not, you guys saw it in person, but you do consider that it could, if you don't get the right thing, it could become a tunnel of fences in between, but I like the idea. I mean, I'm fine with, the
So-
idea of it, but it would come down obviously to the cost and
Yeah.
the
Right.
possible possibility.
Well, it
of
wouldn't be anything that we
reimbursement.
would do now because the garden's underway, so I
Right.
think if you want, I can circle back to her and she can propose it we can have her propose it in January to give us the pricing for it and for doing it and installing it, and then we can kind of circle back if we want to explore it further.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think it's a good
I
idea.
think it's worth.
I think it's worth finding
looking
out
into,
what
yeah.
the cost is, if it's,
The cost is gonna drive the decision.
yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Why don't we get the cost at some point, and then we'll be able to make a better.
Yeah, well, I'll tell her to present it to us in the January, or the August. She could do the August too, because she's gonna do a report in August. Either one, just so that it's ahead of the budget.
Right.
We could talk about
Do
it.
you think there would be any possibility of any sort of grant or anything like that for a community garden that might help us a little bit with the cost?
I'm going down the grants for the roads right now, but if you want to take on the garden fence grant, I'm handing that right over to you, new trustee. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just worth exploring if we're gonna
Worth
explore putting it up. We
exploring.
should explore.
Well, why don't
the-
we have her see what the cost is? Get
Yeah.
us the cost for assuming that the village is gonna have to pay for it, because the village is gonna have to pay for it even if we get a grant for reimbursement anyway. So let's see what that looks like and then kind of see if it's worth pursuing. But
I agree.
if you see any fence,
Eagle Scout, it's
grant.
an Eagle Scout project.
the Eagle Scout
We could have
project,
each Eagle Scout make a section and put it all together.
we don't have that many Eagle Scouts, I
And
think.
the hardest part is probably digging the holes and
Yeah.
cementing the roads.
Alrighty, so wait, was that it? Did I have anything else? Garden plot fencing, that's it. Okay, open items for the board to review from the village attorney, Joe.
I just have a few things. So the first is that I was contacted to and asked to discuss with the board the possibility of entering an IMA with the town of Brookhaven for fire marshal. So we went through this once before, and the basic concern was that a concern over the cost, basically, and the way that the potential cost for the village. And right now, our fire marshal is provided by Suffolk County. So if there was an emergency or an investigation that we needed to do, our code people, public safety could call, or the fire department could call Suffolk County. They probably don't, the fire department probably would call the town of Brookhaven. And if they responded, we would get charged for it, but legally, the actual one is Suffolk County by default. They will come. Suffolk County is 24-hour fire marshals. They will come. I've had them respond as far away as Greenport before. But we probably, I'll get some more information for the board before in advance of the next meeting, so I could, hopefully we could make a decision or respond.
Yeah, they sent me a letter too, saying
Okay.
basically you should get on it. So maybe the next month we could get some, I just want to have an idea what the cost is and then we can make a decision. I feel like we're going to have to, if Brookhaven's advising us to do it and we're part of Brookhaven, I don't know. Let's see is that what it comes down to? Just how much it costs? What it's going to cost us to have this IMA?
Well, I think we would be reasonable to ask them what types of calls, what types of situations the fire marshal would be called for. Because the difference about this village is we're all residential. So there's very few types of calls that the fire marshal would actually come out for. Whereas a commercial district, they would come out all the time. So I think that that would be a good response. If you got a letter from somebody, I think we
Do you want me to contact that person?
Yeah, just
Okay.
say we don't really understand because we're residential only.
All right, so I'll contact that person and ask them for clarification of what it entails. But there's a dollar amount attached to it that I have to ask them about too, right?
Yeah, I think
It's a per call price, right?
yeah, and it's based on a number of hours, so that's another thing. So I think generally there's like a minimum number of either 2.5 or 3 hours. Even if the person comes out and just says that everything looks okay.
Right, but it's
No.
it's only when we need them, right? So it's
No,
not.
it's not.
They're going to send us a monthly bill.
It's not when we need them. It's when the fire department determines that we need them.
Right, but that's only gonna be when there's a situation. We're not gonna get like a monthly retainer for utilizing this
No, there's
IMA.
no fixed
All right.
monthly.
So I'll contact whoever contacted me and get a little more info.
It'd be good if we could do that, but we just need to have some assurance about the cost.
Okay.
So speaking about the fire department, we had training at the beach.
Yeah.
One weekend, or it was last weekend, I guess the weekend before. And it went pretty well. We all went down to
California.
California and launched two boats. So the boat came over from the dock by the Brookhaven dock, the bigger boat, and we did a rest, and then we launched the boat from the shore and saved the people on the bigger boat, so we could.
Did they survive?
Everybody recovered. Yep. And but it's good to go through the exercise. If you see something like this happen, basically everybody has a job, and you learn the things you're supposed to do and not do. In my case, my job is to stay out of the way. Don't stay as far away from what's going on as I can. But so the only one other thing I wanted to mention was there was a concern about a spill occurring into Port Jefferson Harbor. I don't know if anybody heard about
Yes.
this. So I just think that my recommendation would be that the village contacts whoever, like the DEC or whoever this is, and says that we want to be, we insist on being on a notification list when something like this happens, like right away, because we have families and boaters and things at the beach, and these things kind of just like are never surface, and then you hear about them a couple of weeks later, and I don't think that's really fair, especially
I agree.
in our case.
Yep. Okay. Notification for spills, etc. Well, we're still waiting for notifications on the asphalt plant, so I guess this will get in line
Yeah,
behind that.
And then I just hit 10 years as my second trip through the village as village attorney, and I wanted to thank you for reappointing me and your confidence. And I feel that we really there's been a major upgrade in the village in those 10 years, and that a lot has been accomplished. With the mayors that I worked for, and everything, all the time that they put in. And thank you again.
I didn't know it was your 10-year anniversary. We would have gotten like cupcakes. Thank you, Joe.
The second.
The second 10 years, it's 20?
Something like that, yes.
Wow, double, another one.
It always last 10 years is a big
There'll be an announcement about the celebration.
Yeah.
The party will be placed.
All righty,
So thank you.
that's great. All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything you do for this village. We couldn't do it without you. All right, well, that about wraps it all up for the work session. Motion to adjourn at 6:38 PM. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
And, speaking of the fire department, there's a mandatory training that I have to go to tonight.
Bye.
If I could leave in a few minutes.
Yeah. I don't even want to tell you that I was talking to one of your co-fire department people, and I said, "Oh, you work with Joe Prokop?" And they said, "Yeah." And I said, "Do you guys sit around and talk about me all the time?" And he goes, "Yeah."
Pretty much that's what we do.
I don't want to know about it. All right, so we're going to go right into the Board of Trustees meeting. Does anybody need a break? Nope. We're going to go plow right through it. Okay. Pledge. Go ahead. Calling the meeting to order at 6:38 PM. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Pledge.
Do it again.
Chris.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the
Flag
flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Bye, Joe. Have a nice weekend. All right, announcements. The results of the 2024 village election are as follows. Do I have to recuse myself from reading my own name?
No.
Think I'm all right? Okay. Mayor, Tina Chiaffi, 103. John Richardson, 1. Trustees, Ray Graham, 100. Chris Sokol, 98. Darlene Mursieka, 95, Susan Laskowski, 1. Congratulations to the winners. Thank you to all our election inspectors and residents who came out to vote. The annual Poquat Community Association Barbecue and Cardboard Regatta will take place on August 10th at 2 p.m. Also, just FYI, we have code enforcement will be doing additional patrols as per resident requests from last 4th of July. So everyone should have their permits, parking permits up to date, as well as special event permits should be requested in advance. And New York, fireworks are illegal in New York State. All right, reports. You can skip over public safety because we just did it a couple of weeks ago. Treasurer's report, Ron.
As you saw from my executive summary that I sent out, although I guess because you may not have seen it. Okay, well, good.
Chris is getting up to speed with emails. That's something we have to work on.
We're only in June. There's not much to say. The big thing is the CHIPS money. A lot of work got done, and that's going to save us on the other end, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Other than that,
I'm confident it will.
there are some minor tiny differences. The bottom line is positive right now, mainly based on the CHIPS.
Okay, great. All right, the court report.
Thank you, Ron.
We don't have a court report. Jacqueline's gonna actually present us with the year-end one. And then there's another.
I'll do it.
Yeah, well, I saw that list. Did you see that list? We'll go over it later. Public hearings, we have none. Public comments, anyone have public comments? Nope. All right, on to resolutions. Resolution 07-2024-01, resolution adopting July 1st, 2024 agenda as printed. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 072024-02, resolution accepting the monthly reports from July 1st, 2024. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 07-2024-03, resolution adopting the minutes from the June 13th, 2024 work session of the Board of Trustees meeting. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 07-2024-04, resolution adopting the minutes from the June 13th, 2024 business session of the Board of Trustees meeting. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Go, Chris.
Resolution 07-2024-05, resolution to schedule the Village of Poquat Board of Trustees work session beginning at 6 p.m. on August 15th, 2024, with business meetings to follow immediately. So moved. Well, that's you, right? So
No,
moved.
it's you. You're
Oh,
so moved.
That's right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 07-2024-06, resolution approving contribution towards tables, chairs to the PCA annual August 10th barbecue, amount not to exceed $1,500. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Resolution 072024-07, resolution to approve invoice from Early Bird for emergency sprinkler repair for California Park in the amount of $2,445. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 07-2024-08, resolution to approve invoice from GMA Mechanical for emergency AC repair for Village Hall in the amount of $994.08. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 07-2024-09, resolution to approve invoice from Mr. Frost for emergency AC assessment and repair for Village Hall in the amount of $385. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Resolution number 07-2024-10, resolution to approve estimate from Organically Green for insect deterrent application for California and Mayor's Parks in the amount of $250. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm the all in favor,
I know.
but I don't even know it. I forget most of the time.
Jump in my eye.
Resolution 07-2024-11, 2024-11, resolution to approve estimate from Dick's Sporting Goods for the purchase and installation of new in-ground basketball hoop not to exceed $3,000. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Resolution number 072024-12, resolution to approve estimate from Wasteform and Sons for a dumpster for California Park in the amount of $450. So moved.
All in favor?
Is that for the barbecue?
That's, so we have, it's for, well, partly, but it's also for all the bench stuff that
Oh, okay.
we're gonna be getting rid of a lot of debris.
Resolution 07-2024-13, resolution approving insurance renewal with Solano Brokerage Corporation in the amount of $40,597.74 effective July 1st, 2024 to July 1st, 2025, and authorizing the mayor to execute the contract. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Go, Jess.
Okay. First up, we've got GEI Consultants in the amount of $1,128. Next is Motorola Solutions in the amount of $4,867.80. Joseph Prokop in the amount of $1,531.25. Rail Pavement Solutions in the amount of $76,428. Verizon Wireless in the amount of $100.65, and Winter Brothers Calling for $11,532 for a total of $95,587. Next, we have Qualified Corp for a total of $90. Deirdre Cronin for $72. Deborah Pappas for $72. Kendall Parrish for $72. And Kimberly Shaw for $72. We have Suffolk County Water Authority for $405.12. Suffolk County Water Authority for $53.33. And Suffolk County Water Authority for $64.09. Whether or not AC and heating for $385, and Losac Electric and Cameron for $846 for a total of $2,131.54. Ace Hardware for $99.31. Cannon Financial Services for $179. Construction for $195.15. Early Bird Outdoor Services for a total of $2,650. And then we have Early Bird again for $2,445. Flurry Risk Management for $1,170.90. Time Speaking Record for $262.70. Wex Bank for $179.30. And Williamson Law Book Co. for $32.87 for a total of $7,214.23. Next we have Amazon for $315.10 and Microsoft 365 for $108.61 for a total of $423.71.
All righty. Resolution approving all checks per the voucher report. Oh, sorry, resolution 07-2024-14, resolution approving all checks per the voucher report. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn at 6:47 PM. So
Very well
moved.
done.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Shocked.
Done. 3 meetings,
I'm gonna
48.
fall out of my
3
chair.
meetings in 48 minutes.
I might be the lucky charm.
Yeah, well,